I'm not going to play this game with you. We have expectations in this court, and you are to live up to these expectations. And when you don't, actions have consequences. And that consequence is a revocation of that bond and straight to jail.
Judgment sprung, in and out, the verdict swung. Uchikor, watch, we've just begun. Uchikor, watch, we're on the scene. Truths unraveling, what does it mean?
You are Joseph Clark. Mr. Clark, you're charged with interference with the duties of a public servant. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, good morning, Alex.
Right. Officer was working an extra job at a bar in Harris County, Texas. The defendant was asked to leave by bar employees because he got into an altercation with another individual. The defendant returned several times despite being told to leave by the officer. The officer then attempts to escort the defendant away from the parking lot, but the defendant continued to walk towards the entrance of the bar. During the escort, the defendant continuously pulled his arms away from the officer, and the officer then attempts to detain the defendant, who again pulled his arms away and locked his legs to prevent him from being moved.
All right, Mr. Clark, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Please do not go back to this location. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How old are you, sir?
25 years old.
What do you do for a living?
Blue collar work. I'm in the oil field.
Okay, how much money do you make a month?
Depends if I work overtime, what I do on the side. Depends. Probably I'll say like $5,000 a month.
Okay,
It
we're going to reset your case, give you time to hire a lawyer.
I have
So-
a lawyer. I actually hired.
Just, I don't want to get into anything.
Yes,
Have you already hired a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Who is it?
Slider and Sharma.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's do this. Let me just have you take a seat while we wait for them to come back. I'm going to create bond conditions that you're not to go back to this location, and
Yes,
that's
sir.
it. Don't get in any more trouble. Don't pick up a new case. Otherwise, I'm going to revoke your bond. I know you want to say something. Don't.
Yes, sir.
I mean, just a bunch of DAs here. Anything you say, they can use it against you. Just wait for your lawyer to get here. Ask them the question, and then they can get back to me.
Can I say one more thing?
Don't. Just don't. I know you're itching. Don't. I'm trying to protect you.
No, this is nothing.
Don't.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just wait for your lawyer. I promise you. Don't be here short.
Yes, sir.
I'll have you sign a wreath with Victoria. We'll have you just take a seat in the back while we wait for Mr. Slider.
Clark, Joseph.
Hey, Kavita.
Morning, Judge. I'm here on Joseph Clark. Morning, Judge. I'm here on Joseph Clark.
Okay. I've got Clark here now. The only condition that we did was just don't go back to that location.
Okay.
I don't know. Let me see if I got the conditions yet. This is your lawyer on the screen now.
Sir.
It is your responsibility to stay in touch with them. If they tell me they can't get a hold of you because you've gone MIA, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest. You pick up a new case, you violate conditions of your bond, likewise, a warrant for your arrest will be issued.
Yes, sir.
I'm not asking much. I just want my public safe. That's it. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think you've already signed a reset. We got to wait for your bond conditions to come up. We'll have you sign it, and after that, you'll be free to go.
Yes, sir.
You can just take a seat over there, but don't leave until you sign. Oh, okay. Kavita, let me get your date.
Thank you, Judge. Any date in January works, Judge.
Hey, can I have a date for Clark? Kavita's here now.
No, we're waiting on Slider.
Kavita's here.
Oh, yes, how is February 25 to the 27th?
The 25th is good.
26?
26?
Yeah, 26 is fine, Judge.
Okay, all right, it's yours.
Were there states
Thank
on?
you.
And it's done.
I have
Yeah.
you excused, Your Honor.
Thanks, Kavita. Take care.
Clark,
Thank you.
You are Lester Robinson. Mr. Robinson, you're charged of tampering with a government record. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
One moment, Judge, I apologize, it's loading right now.
Sorry, Judge, internet's a little slow this morning.
Good morning, Morgan.
You got it.
Ready, Judge.
Okay.
On December 9th, 2024, a traffic stop was initiated for a defective left headlamp at Will Clayton Parkway in Harris County, Texas. The officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, and sole occupant of the vehicle. The officer ran the temporary license plate, which came back to a different motor vehicle. The defendant stated he put the license plate on the vehicle and was fully aware that the temporary tag belonged to a different vehicle.
Robinson, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license, sir? Can you run his license, please? Okay, you're not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name, and I'm making that a condition of your bond. Do not drive unless you have both. Do you understand? If you violate these conditions, I'm going to revoke your bond. You will go to jail. No more PR bonds, sir.
Eligible, Your Honor.
All right. We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, we'll just get you out of here. When you come back, please have a lawyer. All right, please. Good morning, Mr. Thomas. Sir, you're charged with evading arrest or detention. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On December 2nd, 2024, officers were conducting a routine patrol in a marked vehicle and wearing marked uniforms. The officer ran a license plate through MDT and received a stolen vehicle hit. The officer drove behind the stolen vehicle, which eventually parked, and the officer initiated a felony traffic stop. The defendant then exited the motor vehicle by opening the front passenger door. The officer gave verbal commands, and the defendant evaded by running from the scene approximately 0.3 miles until he was detained.
Any co-defendants?
There is a co-defendant, Your Honor, and he's currently charged with UUMB in felony court.
All right, Mr. Thomas, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do not hang around with the co-defendant. Do you understand? I'm making that a condition of your bond. How old are you, sir? What do you do for a living?
Currently unemployed. I'm going to high school.
That I'm making that a condition of your bond. I'm also ordering you not to use any drugs. Do you understand? I'm sending you for a test now. You must go test and then come back, and then we're going to talk about the results. And I'm happy to appoint you a lawyer today. No more drugs. Do you understand me? Okay, just take a seat for me. We'll send you, and then we'll have you come right back, sir.
I already have a lawyer.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll also wait for your lawyer as well. Okay. Please.
Good morning, Judge. May I approach? The plea ready for you on Rochelle.
All right. Alexia, Rochelle, come up.
We were just going to do this plea a couple weeks ago, and Your Honor,
You don't
PTI.
have to say anything else.
Okay,
If
okay.
it just doesn't work, it just doesn't work. I mean, you know, Miss Rochelle, you're old enough to understand that actions have consequences. And then when you do this, this is a lifetime action, you know? You cannot come back in this future and say, you know what, I changed my mind. I've got buyer's remorse. I want to return it like I want to go to Target. You know, once you plead guilty, that's it. It goes on your record. And there are consequences. You get pulled over, an officer is going to see this. You have the smell of alcohol, you got the smell of dope. What's going to happen? You have to be conscious. And what we're doing today, the proverbial slap on the wrist, from now on, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail. Do you understand? You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine the accusers, the right to be arraigned, charged, read in open court. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeals, is what I was saying, that once you plead guilty, there's no turning back. Do you understand? Is this what you want to do? How do you plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated? Guilty or not guilty? You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. But like I'm telling you, this can be used to enhance punishment in the future. From now on, you will be looking at a second DWI if you pick one up. And from now on, it's up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine, not to mention a minimum of 30 days. Do you understand? All right. How did you plead? Guilty or not guilty? I will find you guilty and I'm going to sentence you to the 3 days in jail. I'll give you credit for the 1 day that you've done. I'm going to suspend your license for 90 days, ma'am. Do not drive until you get a license. Now, the other thing that you need to understand is DWI is extremely big business in the state of Texas. And when you pick up a DWI, there are surcharges in the amount of around $3,000. If you have a 0.15 or above, it's $4,500 that you owe. And if you don't pay it, you don't get a license until you do. Do you understand? On a second DWI, it's a $6,000 surcharge, not to mention court costs. So you pick up a second DWI, you could be looking at around $7,000 in fines and fees when you walk out of here. So what I'm trying to tell you is one button on a phone, one button, wherever you want to go, they'll take you wherever. You understand? Where do we go from here? As far as surcharges and,
Rochelle's currently not working. She just got evicted from her apartment actually, and we'll be moving back to Arkansas, back home. So we have to have surcharges.
are you working?
No, I recently lost my vehicle, so I'm not able to get to work, which is why I recently got evicted, which is why I can't get the PTI. So I have to move back. Got the letter.
Are your folks around? Okay, go back. Go back. There's nothing wrong. You know, when I graduated law school, I was what, 30s? I went back to my folks. I lived with my folks until I saved money, a ton of money, and I was to be able to get something else. There's nothing wrong with it. Go back, get on your feet, and be the best person you can. But that's what it's about. You know, there's nothing wrong with going back to live at your house. Really. I did it, and we all do it, you know? All right, I'll waive your surcharges. I'll waive the court costs. You're not going to go anything when you roll out here. The only thing that we ask of you is think before you act. Think before you speak, because God forbid you make some kind of mistake that's so catastrophic that you can't go back to mom and dad. All right? Good luck.
Hey, Judge.
Counsel for
Hey, look who it is.
It is.
It's been so long.
It has. How are you doing? That's good. I have Mr. Kareem Delisling,
What's the last name?
Delesline. Please,
Uh,
I'm not pronouncing it right.
No, you're close enough. So
Cases of theft and the POM.
come up, Mr. Delisling, or Delisling.
How do you pronounce your last name? Delisling.
I'm not going to play this game with you.
Yes, sir.
You continue to take off. The only reason we have you pick up a new case. It's a third bond that you've got. I'm not going to do this again. You pick up a third case or you violate conditions again, I'm going to go bonkers. Do you understand? Can you tell me where the theft was from, Alex, please?
Target. The alleged theft was from Target.
Then we're going to Target. I'm making that a condition of your bond. You're not to have any weapons. We've given you a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with Elena. She tells me she can't get a hold of you because you're ducking and dodging. I'm telling you, at some point, someone is going to stop ponying the money to get you out.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm just no going to any target, no weapons, and that's it. Just stay in contact with you, and then we're happy.
Sounds perfect.
So, all right, come on, man.
Thank you, sir.
It's Brown.
All right. Thank you.
All right, don't leave until you sign our bond conditions.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
states. Yeah. So if you can file, no going to target, and then no weapons, please. All
No
right,
weapons as well.
please.
Yes, Judge.
All right, please.
Thank you.
Hi, Casey. How are you? What's new?
Not much. I'm just trying to get through this week because I am going on a trip next week.
Nice. Where are you going?
We're going to France, Iceland, and Denmark.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous. Wow. Are you going 2 weeks or what?
Yeah, it's like a 10-day trip. So
That's so great.
my mom got on this kick where she's like, I've never traveled and I'm gonna die. And I'm like, you're not even 16.
Have you considered or looked into like tour guides or anything?
Yeah, so we have a 2-day tour booked in Iceland.
No.
Oh.
So you got to look at Rick Steves. Do you know who that is? Okay. Rick Steves is a guy that's got a show on PBS, and it's so great because this guy has a travel book and he tells you if you have a certain number of days and you're going to a certain number of location, he'll tell you what to do,
I love that.
where to go. He'll tell you how to get tickets in advance.
I
so that-
definitely need to look into that because I was their travel agent.
But here's even the better thing is like, I'll give you an example. When I went to Rome with my wife on our honeymoon, he has a guidebook. And he also has on iTunes podcasts and virtual tour guides that you download to your phone. So when you go to like the Sistine Chapel,
Yeah.
you walk in and you turn it on and you go, okay, he'll go, okay, walk 5 paces, look up. And this is a fresco that was painted by Michelangelo. And this was the date. And this was the thinking at the time.
Going through like their little
Right.
thing.
It's so
Probably
great.
way better and more.
And dude, I'll give you another example. Like when you go in Venice, they have the Grand Canal where you get on one Vaporetto, you go through the entire thing. Like you turn on one of the virtual tours and he'll go, okay, so as soon as you get on the boat and the boat starts moving in 2 minutes, press play. So you press play. All right, the boat's moving. Look to your right. There's the Guggenheim Museum. This is what was done there. So look into
Name
his,
again?
Rick Steves.
Rick Steves. Okay.
He's just, and he's got it for all over the world. It's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna download that.
When
one.
we go anywhere, which is not lately, because
Yeah.
we take Rick Steves with us everywhere. It's like a Bible. It's
Yeah,
so-
that's awesome. That's good to know. I've
Take
never
a
heard
look.
of him. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate the recommendation.
Because when you go and when you know what you're looking at, it's
Yes.
just so much more
Oh,
memorable.
yeah.
You
No,
know,
I like to know because usually I've Pinterest everything and I'm like, okay, we're gonna go see this thing. And my
Right.
parents are like, cool, it's another building.
is when I did it, it was free. I don't know if it is now. The
I'm sure it's not too expensive. If it is,
no, it's
so.
anyways. Who are you here on?
Terrence Brugge.
Okay. Okay, it's getting up there.
So we have a motion to withdraw on your queue on it for lack of payment. He is here today though.
Come up, Terrence. It's old though, man. You know.
I
It's-
understand.
There's nothing worse than when your lawyer is upset. You know, do you work? What do you do for a living? So you don't work for free, do you? You don't work free, do you?
I don't work for free. But I did,
So I don't want you, it's a rhetorical question. The thing is that your case is old and it's now where it's either put up or shut up and we're ready to go to trial. You know, your case is 140 days. In 40 days, this is when we set the case for trial. It's time to figure out what we're going to do. You know, I'd like you to get together with them to see what you can do to try to mend the relationship, but it's old and it's time to figure out what to do. You know? Can you try to see if there's something worth salvaging and
He's
mending?
communicated with our office, but there's still a large chunk that he owes. I mean, he can't guarantee us when he'll ever be able to get it to us. So that's just kind of where we're at this point.
So can I talk? Can I speak? Okay, I did discuss with the representative in charge of the payment, but
Our office manager.
the office manager. Honestly, I was supposed to pay before the end of December, but I did get sick. You know, I did have some things going on, so I would like them to reconsider. And
Do you still work full-time? Do you earn a salary?
when I did get sick, it did affect my paychecks, you know, for like quite a month. So I get paid every 2 weeks. I don't make go driving, you know, so if I don't drive,
Salaried employee?
I get paid per hour. I don't get a salary. Salary is 6 per month. I don't get.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm a medical driver.
Medical driver.
Yes.
Okay. And how much money do you make an hour?
An hour is $15 an hour.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's not like that's something. I did get sick, so I haven't been working for some time. I was in pain. I couldn't even walk. And I went to ER.
So when is the last time you worked?
I did get back on my feet and.
So you're telling me you haven't worked at all? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yes, they're like recovered for like quite a week, and it did affect my paycheck. So I haven't been able to make the payments that I was making. But I did make a payments like I think yesterday. I didn't even make a payment, so I need more time in order to make more payments. You know, to the point that they will reconsider.
We're at the stage where it's time to set your case for trial or end it somehow. We're not at the stage where we're going to push your case another 6 months no. It's time to work these things out. I mean, there's no way to.
I mean, that's up to your discretion. I can let the office know if you don't want to sign our motion, and then we'll continue to work on the case, but.
If your honor, you can give me more time, I will get back to the point that they'll be able to consider for the.
How much time are you talking? Say it again.
If I can have a month or 2 months or 4 payments.
So let me see. I'll have you fill out an application, but I don't know if you're going to qualify for an appointed lawyer. You need a lawyer to represent you, and I'm going to tell you now. Even if I let them withdraw, whoever you hire, you're going to be in an extremely fast track getting ready for trial because your case is 140 days. And like I told you, at 180, we set that for trial. You know, I need to know everything about you, how much money you make an hour. I need to know how much money you have in the bank, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, what kind of cars you drive, everything about you to see whether you qualify. If you don't qualify, you're going to have to go hire someone else. And then you're going to spend a bunch of money elsewhere.
So let me ask you a question. How long can I have in order to be back on track for the payments?
I don't know. That's something that you need to negotiate with them to see what they're willing to take. But I'm going to tell you now, if you don't qualify for a lawyer, all the money that's been already spent, it's just,
But she is on a PTI track, and at this point, he's also going to have to spend the money on the fees and stuff for PTI.
Look, I take this seriously. I don't give out lawyers like it's candy on Halloween. You truly have to qualify because when we give out court-appointed lawyers, it's I pay for it, they pay for it, they pay for it, we all pay for it. And I take it seriously, and it's not fair to just hand them out. You have to qualify. I'm following the law. So if you want, how do I pronounce your last name?
Brugge.
Okay. If you'd like, I can have you fill out an application to see whether you qualify. But if you don't, like I said, it is what it is.
May I have at least a month to be able to get the balance, please?
Of course.
The month.
Yeah. Oh, no. No, we're not going to sit this where you're going to come back in a month. Nothing's happened. I'm not going to play this game. We need to decide today what's going to happen because in a month, now we're at 109 So let's do this. If you want, I can give you an application to fill out. I can wait to see whether I'm going to grant or deny your motion. In the interim, if you want to try to negotiate something, I don't know. But like I said, I take giving court-appointed lawyers seriously. I don't hand them out like candy because the public pays for it. And it's not fair for them to pay for something when you can afford it. You just don't want to pay. I don't know how much money you have in the bank. I've never met you, sir. I don't know who you are. I don't know what kind of car you drive. I don't know if you drive a Shelby Cobra. So let's do that. I'll have you fill out an application. If you want to try to talk to them to mend the relationship, perhaps that can work. If not, I'll wait to get your application and we'll go from there.
Yes, I want to talk to them. I want to try to I want to try to have a deal with them, please.
With what?
I'm trying to see what kind of deal I can have with them for payment plans.
So
if
you
they
can go
set
call
me
the
up.
office again, but they've already told you no.
Yes, please.
So
Just, you have to understand that relationships are built on trust, right? And if you're not forthcoming with the side and you put them off and you put them off and you say you're going to do this and you say you're going to do that, and then you go back on your word repeatedly, it goes a long way, you know? So well, I'll have you step back. You tell me what you want to do. And I'll give you a couple minutes. I don't want you to make a decision here. Take a step back. You guys just
we'll check back in.
let me know
Judge.
what you want to do. All right, please,
Thank you.
for sure. And thank you for Casey for,
Yeah, no worries.
hey, hi.
I'm back again. Last name is Beugre. It's like a DWI. Looks
Yeah.
like I don't know kind of what happened. It seems like.
So they withdrew because didn't pay. And it looked like that they were gonna do the PTI route.
Okay.
It's 140 now, so we can give you, I guess, a short reset just to look for you, see what you guys want to do, and then come back.
PTI offer is.
Is he
apparently
approved or not approved?
Nathan approved it.
Yes, it is approved, yes.
Okay, so basically it just needs an application and then the
Judge,
TRS.
contract was already sent out today, if I'm not mistaken. So
What, were they that far in the process?
The
already?
contract was sent today, Judge.
DAP and interlock.
Okay, so he's done the TRS?
I'm assuming
Obviously,
so,
right?
because it's
Because there's something,
contract.
all right, come up. I didn't realize they were that in the home stretch. Okay, so here's the deal. You're basically in the home stretch of this thing anyways to enter into the diversion program. Elaine is gonna get the contract. She's gonna need to go over it with you. You will need to do two more remaining things. You will need to get the interlock. You will have to pay the district attorney fee. Once you do that, you will be in the program. So it's at 140 days now. I guess we can give you, 30 days for you to get it done.
Okay. I
Um,
will be out until the first week in February. Would that be okay? We said to February.
You're really gonna be on all of January?
Yes. I'm coming back the last week of January, the first 2 days, but then I'm taking a COE the last part of January. So you can try to get it in if it's just a DAP.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's
If we could get that in, I guess, before the end of the year, that would be great.
yeah. How soon will it take you to pay there's a $300 fee and you have to get the interlock. How long do you think it'll take for you to do that?
Okay, for you said 300?
Uh-huh.
I can pay it. I guess
Once
2 weeks.
you pay that, get proof, and do you have the interlock in your car now? Okay, you need to do both of those things to enter into the program.
The program?
The sooner you do it, the better, because she's leaving all of January, I guess.
The alternative, I don't know if there's no driving affidavit if he doesn't have. I guess we need to look at the license suspension and I'll take a look at that.
Can you
Yeah,
run
I
us?
have an ALR and my driver's license is not suspended.
Okay.
What are you saying?
His driver's license is not suspended,
Okay,
so
so
he would have to get the
And
interlock.
Your Honor,
in.
I have an email saying that he was approved for a portable due to him operating a work company vehicle. So I believe a portable is what has been
Means
offered
are good.
by Brenda, is what she said in an email.
Got it. Okay, so let's do this. Do you think you can pay the DA fee and get the interlock done within the next 2 weeks?
Next 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm sure about the fee, but for the interlock, I don't know how much I'm supposed to pay for.
Ms. Elena can get with you to let you know how to do that. All of that is in the contract.
In the
They'll
contract.
have information where you can call the various vendors and they can tell you how to get that. set.
Right. So why don't we do this? Why don't we set it, I guess maybe like, you wanna do that?
I don't have a problem with what that.
Okay, so we'll set you off for the 30th. Okay, you're gonna need to get together with Miss Elena quick so that you guys can get on the same page. The most difficult thing will be for you to get the interlock, but you need to make the appointment as soon as possible because they're really busy. Don't wait till the day before court. Call today, tomorrow, or the next day to make the appointment. When you get that, pay also the DA fee, and then you're in the program. Okay? The idea is to do that before she goes because she's going to be gone for a long time, and it makes no sense for you to wait all that time when you can be working toward the goal.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
Thanks. Thank you.
Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Elena. Will, hey,
No plea for you, Judge.
okay.
Romero.
Yeah, I saw that you had another one here. Oh, are we doing a plea?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Romero Javier, come up.
Order in the court.
Was restitution paid?
We're not able to pay restitution. The state has,
No.
the state hasn't contacted the complainant in 2 years, Judge.
Because here it says on 12/2, $250 restitution was due before the time served was offered.
I talked to Morgan. I talked to Morgan about this.
Yes, Judge, and he's correct. The last time that the complaint has been contacted is 2022, and so we haven't been able to reach out again. We haven't been able to get in contact.
Have you attempted to reach out to the complaining witness?
We can reach out if you want us to. We can reach out.
You haven't reached out?
Since the last work we have is from 2022, Your Honor. And so we can.
I mean, we reset this from 12/2 to 12/9 to 12/16, 3 different times. And not once has the complaining witness ever been attempted to be reached. Am I getting that right, Alex?
That's correct, Your Honor, not since 2022.
Judge, this complaint was read in 2022 by Mr. Morse, and defense advice, and last time we approached regarding this case, we said that, restitution and take a plea, but defense has advised me that he can't pay the $250.
No, it's not fair. I mean,
The state attempts to get a hold of him again and just simply can't. Will that be okay for the court?
I mean, they have before. That's always been the,
I understand that. The complainant has not attempted to follow up and contact them and ask about the
they've
$250.
never even reached out since the last 3 settings. I mean, I guess Alex, reach out to see if that's still correct, but I'm going to tell you now, it's not fair that there's an accident, there's restitution, but it should be made whole, and that's it. It can always be done through probation as well, but I mean, yeah. Can you give me 2 minutes? Let me see.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Hey, Judge. Well, state.
So Judge, Alex tried 3 different numbers for the complainant, he didn't pick up any of them.
Yes, Judge.
all right. Mr. Romero Javier, you're charged with 2 cases. You're charged with failure to stop and give information. You're also charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. Are we going on both or are we going on which?
Just on FSGI, Judge. State's dismissing the UCW.
What about the weapon?
Your Honor, if I may, I believe we just got a call back from one of the numbers I attempted, so if I may step out just for a moment.
All right. Go back, have a seat.
So, Your Honor, I got a hold of the husband who said the vehicle was totaled and
Come up, sir.
the amount that is he told me it was actually $500 deductible, and he's gonna send that document by the end of the day.
Okay,
So
it is what it is, but I'm,
The 4th or the 6th?
you know, Mr. Romero,
Sir.
I want you to understand something that Harris County, we have so many people here and we have so many accidents, it's ridiculous. We have car insurance for a reason. When you have, and when you're driving, you're expected to maintain and follow the law. One of those is maintain liability car insurance, because when you don't and you get into an accident, there are very, very big consequences. Let's say, for example, somehow someone goes out, gets into an accident and kills someone. Who do you think they're going to come after? Right. And they will get a judgment, and then just who knows what they can attach, who knows how much they can sue you for. And when that happens, you'll never recover from it. That's why for $40 to $50 a month, you get insurance that protects you in the event. They can also give you a lawyer to help you with these types of cases when there's something that happens. But God forbid something catastrophic really happens and ruins your life because of it. I routinely get emails where people come to me and say, hey, you know, how do I get help here? I've gotten into an accident. They're suing me for $50,000. And I know I now have to go hire a lawyer, and I don't have any money to go hire a lawyer. What do? This is real life. This is what you do. Now, in this case here, there is a deductible of how much?
$500.
That's part of the agreement. So that's something that if it was part of the agreement when they initially did this. So you're working, right?
Not completely, sir.
Why not?
Since because the winter came, we got laid off. So all I've been doing, I've been going to Home Depot, and sometimes I get hired, sometimes I don't, you know.
You have an ID.
No.
Have you ever tried to go get an ID? An ID?
I'm not from here.
You're not a citizen, Judge.
Yeah, I got laid off because of the winter, and all I've been going to Home Depot, you know. And sometimes I get hired, sometimes I don't, and that's the only way, you know what I'm saying, I'm able to, in a sort of way, maintain paying bills.
You have children.
Yes, sir.
How are you supporting your children, man?
Well, the same way. I'm going by Home Depot, sending them money to them because I'm not with them.
There are other ways. Find a trade. I'm sure that you have friends that are either carpenters, brick masons, something other where you can learn a trade, be good at it,
sir.
Make a name for yourself, and you can really make some money. Hanging out at Home Depot, waiting for someone that's not the one to find.
I mean, I hear you, sir. I hear you, but like you say, I've been going through like companies here. Trust me, I've been going everywhere. And my last resource, my last option is to go right there because, you know, that's the only way that I can find something at the moment while I'm waiting for something to happen.
Judge, I'd like to see what documentation complainant can come with. So we can see the validity of that. If that is something that they're truly going to want as a condition of anything, we have to put it on like a probation.
I mean, it's
a trial, you know.
Are you okay with bypassing that? Are you okay with bypassing the deductible and just going forward with it?
I believe so, Judge.
The problem is, Mr. Ramirez, how is it fair?
It's not fair.
Why? You know, it's
not fair, sir. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm willing to like pay for my crime, pay.
But that's not what it's about. I get it. But the problem is now all you're doing is you're making your life more difficult in the process. You know,
yes, sir.
The more convictions you get, the harder it becomes to get a job. And the harder it becomes to get a job, all you're doing is you're continually shooting yourself in the foot over and over and over. This life can be either a great journey or it could be an awful journey.
Yes, sir.
And the more convictions you get,
The harder it is.
think before you act. Think before you speak. It's not hard. From now on, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail. You need to realize that. Don't get into a car if you don't have insurance. If you don't have a license, don't get into a car. I will have jurisdiction over you for the next 5 years. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
State, you okay with going forward?
Yes, Your Honor, we would be fine with the time served on the FSGI in exchange for the dismissal on the UCW, and we can waive rest.
And then as far as the weapon is forfeited, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the weapon will be forfeited. You're not going to get this weapon back. Do you understand?
Sir.
You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. This is going to go on your record, like I said, and it's going to be there for the rest of your life. From now on, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up. You understand? This can also have immigration consequences as well. If you're not a citizen, you can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. If you're not in this country with permission and you go to jail, it's only a matter of time before ICE gets a hold of you and you'll be stuck like Chuck in there. Do you understand? You better live with a freaking halo because you have a lot to lose.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're giving up the right to appeal. So once you plead guilty, there's no turning back. You cannot change this. You understand?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to the offense of failure to stop and give information? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'll find you guilty, sentence you to the 3 days in jail, credit for the time that you've done, is it 2 days? 9 days in jail, credit for the 3 days that you've done. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Will. And thank you.
The first plea is Mr. Brown.
Brown.
Brown, yes.
Come up, Mr. Brown. Morning, Mr. Brown. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated, second offense. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 180 days in jail to be probated for 12 months. You need to understand that even though they are reducing this to a first, that's still 2 DWIs now on your record. What happens on the next one? What happens?
I go to prison. I go to jail.
Not jail.
Prison.
Right. Minimum of 2 years, a maximum of 10 years in prison. And I'm going to tell you now, if an officer pulls you over, the only thing they look at is your record and how you look. You got that smell, even the funkiest smell, don't matter. You understand? So if I were you, I would never get in a car, even if you've had a sip of alcohol, because it's a humongous risk, financial as well, because this is not going to be cheap for you. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So once you accept this agreement, there's no turning back. Do you understand? As part of this agreement, you will do a DWI repeat offender education program. Two victim impact panels. You will also do what's called a TRAS. This is an evaluation to see what other conditions you may need. If they assess other conditions, you must fulfill them. They could say, you know, supportive outpatient treatment. It may say intensive outpatient treatment, whatever it is, you must fulfill those conditions as well. No breath test refusal. So if you're pulled over in a car and an officer asks you to submit a breath sample, you must do it. No drugs, alcohol, guardian interlock. Do you have any children?
Yes, sir.
Okay. One of the things is 40 hours of community service. I think that probably a parenting class would be better than just mindless work. If you guys are okay with it.
Yes.
Um, So is it true or untrue that you had a 0.15 or above in this case? Okay. So, couple things. Don't drink alcohol. If you don't have a license, don't drive. You are now on this probation and we expect you to fulfill it. If you don't, there are serious, serious consequences. One of the other things is that there is a surcharge on your license that you're going to be required to pay. It's a $4,500 surcharge. You will get 2 years to pay it, but you have to do it. Do you understand? DWI is big business in Harris County, and it will actually in Texas. I tell you, if it continues, one of two things happen. You're going to be broke or you're going to end up in prison. One button on your phone, $50, wherever you want to go. You know what I mean? I hope that you get it now before it becomes too late. How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty? I will find you guilty. I will follow the agreement, send you to it. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Runner.
Yeah, a year. I have to suspend your license. I'm gonna do it for a year. Just, if you do well throughout the probation, come back and we can talk about a license. But you gotta be in compliance, do well, and above all, just don't drink. All right? Okay, good luck. Valderas. I got it, but come up. In the box.
Which was the car was also. Okay, so that was.
He went to get the urine sample, came back.
Okay, come up, Mr. Valderas. Have you played Monopoly before?
No, sir.
You've never played Monopoly before?
No.
In the game of Monopoly, you get a get out of jail free card. This is it. Not gonna happen again. You failed to give a sample the last time when you were supposed to. It's not gonna happen again. If you fail to live up to your side of the bond conditions, your bond will be revoked, you will go into jail. That's it. Do you understand? I'm not gonna play this game with you. We have expectations in this court, and you are to live up to these expectations, and when you don't, actions have consequences, and that consequence is a revocation of that bond and straight to jail. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm happy that you tested negative now, but if you're called upon to test and you fail to test, that's it. Understand? Okay. All right, counsel.
Thank you, Judge. Judge Neil McKay, I will prosecute you in this court.
Wow. That's number one.
Judge Neil, great Scotsman.
I hold on a second. We're talking 70s here. I mean, but I don't want
Yes, I was in the office 77.
I want to say he was the number one judge in here, and that was,
I tried a lot of cases in this court.
let me see, hold on a second, I'll tell you.
He played bagpipes. He was in the, what's that organization, fraternal organization?
Neil McKay, he was in 1973 in August was the first time he sat on the bench, and he retired in 86, in December of 86. So,
I was
yeah.
in here in the mid-70s.
Wow.
Yeah. Great man, great man.
Yeah, never met him. but-
All right, just
All
thank
right,
you so
guys.
much for your consideration.
Of course.
I mean, I'm trying to,
Just impress upon him.
yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah, see,
please, you're free to go.
Continue supervision, Judge.
Please.
And then due to the nature of the violation, we are so.
Who?
That's the big problem.
Mr. Who? Yeah, he was supposed to.
He wasn't scheduled to.
I know, no, but he was supposed to. No, that's the right thing. Yeah.
I just, I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, that's okay. Good.
Alexia, this one was negative? Yes, okay.
Yeah. All right, I think we're done.
We have Mr. Wyckoff. It was presumptive for cocaine and THC.
Come up, Mr. Wyckoff.
I mean, you know, good, so. what do we do for one, 4, 1, 4, 5, 6? Okay.
What's your calendar?
Well, on the 6th, I only have 2 cases. So, and on the 5th, I have 3.
Your client, hey, Joseph, I'm gonna put you on, I'm gonna put you on speakerphone.
Let's try the, which would you prefer?
Joseph,
He's away.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So then
I have your client here, Mr. Wyckoff, with me.
Yes, Judge.
We sent him for another drug test today.
Yes.
He tested positive for cocaine and THC.
All right, Judge. Are you going to?
I mean, how can I let him go when he's testing positive for cocaine?
I've talked to him.
The last, you ain't giving me no
numerous
window.
times.
The last test was confirmed negative, Judge, or it was positive just for THC.
Your last test here tested positive for only THC. And now you're testing positive for cocaine.
Using, I probably been on my pants or
Don't
something.
even, I don't want you to say anything,
Haven't
but
been using. I was just in here
everybody
Friday.
using? I don't want you to use alcohol or illegal drugs.
I haven't been.
And you just tested positive again for cocaine. It's not the first time. It's not the second time. Goes with you. Joseph, he'll pop up on tomorrow's docket, and I guess I'll reach out to you then and we'll see how we go forward.
Stop talking.
I'll be in the courthouse, Judge, so I can just stop by.
All right. Thanks, Joseph.
Thank you.
Watch, we're on the scene. Truths unravel, and what does it mean? In the halls where stories clash, Uchi watch quick as a flash.